All right, here we are in Las Vegas. It's about 6:45 a.m. I want to get some media predictions on who they think is going to win the main event between Matt Hamill and Rampage Jackson, as well as the co-main event between Frank Mir and Roy Nelson. Main event, I'm going to go with Rampage Jackson. I think he has just a little too much for Hamill to handle, but I won't be surprised if the Hammer takes it full 3 rounds. And in that co-main event, same thing. I think it's going to go 3 rounds, but don't be surprised if Roy Nelson wins at least 2 rounds to 1. Let's see what the rest of the guys have to think.
Don't count out Matt Hamill. I think everyone has this image of Rampage as being this unstoppable force, and I do think he's going to win the fight. I do believe that, but I think Hamill's going to make it a lot more interesting than people are giving him credit for.
I like Rampage. I think for him to be leaner and stronger than he was in his last fight is a big deal. I think Hamill's very strong, great wrestling. I just think Rampage can have a little bit too much for him.
Very tough fight to predict, but I'm going with Rampage Jackson. I know a lot of people have been talking about whether or not he's motivated. I just think that Hamill's strengths don't really, negate Rampage's weaknesses, and Rampage has underrated takedown defense. Obviously, a very good striker, so I think he could ride out the decision here. I don't think he'll be able to knock out Hamill, but I think he'll win a decision 2 rounds to 1.
I tell you what, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to pick the upset. I think Matt Hamill, this is his time. This is his moment. It seems like everything in his life has led up to this fight. This is a fight he wanted. And Rampage has been a little cagey, a little dodgy, saying, hey, this is just another fight for me. I'm not really that primed for it, that pumped. I think Matt Hamill can actually pull the upset here, especially if he avoids the striking game with Rampage. If he gets Rampage on his back, which Matt Hamill absolutely can do, I think he can pull the upset.
Well, I'm going to pick Rampage in this fight because I think his striking is just superior. It's going to be up to Hamill's strategy to see if he can take Jackson out of his game, but I think Rampage has trained really seriously for this fight. I think it's important to him. He knows that a win here is going to put him right back in the top of the contenders line. So Hamill's tough, but I'm picking Rampage.
Quinton Rampage Jackson.
Why?
He's been in the game a lot longer than Matt Hamill. He just has that power. He's got the one-punch knockout power. We've seen him against wrestlers before. So what he did, he's coming in with a good winning streak off the last fight with Cheetah. I just think Matt Hamill hasn't fought anybody at this level yet. Rampage shows what he's got.
I'm gonna say Matt Hamill by decision. I want to say Quinton, but I'm thinking Hamill's gonna pull it off.
I think Frank's going to have the edge in just about every aspect, just a little bit. He's not going to be totally dominant in any aspect of the game, but he's a little bit better in every aspect of the game, and I think that's going to be the final undoing of Roy. Probably a stoppage on the feet.
I'm going to go with the big fella and go with big country in that one. I think it's going to be pretty interesting because I just wonder how much grappling those 2 guys are going to get into. I think it's going to be pretty cool to see 2 guys of that caliber, that big, do a mat and go at it, but it's also going to be some bombs thrown. And if that happens, I like Roy Nelson. So.
Such a hard one. This is really hard to predict, but I'm going with Roy Nelson on this one. I know we're not quite sure, how healthy he is. He hasn't fought in a while, but I just for some reason feel like I really have no idea where this fight can go. It can go in so many places. It just gets me very excited just thinking about it, but I feel like Nelson's going to win a decision here. I don't think he'll be able to knock out Frank Mir.
As for the co-main, I think it's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be a really exciting fight between Mir and Nelson. I'm going to go with Frank Mir on this one. I think while they're really even in a lot of departments, I think Frank Mir has a little bit better wrestling. I think Roy Nelson generally relies on the clinch to get things to the ground, and I don't think he's going to be able to do that in this position. Nelson showed he's extremely durable. We saw against Dos Santos. I don't think Mir gets a finish, but I'm going to take Mir via decision.
That's an interesting one because, of course, Big Country doesn't look like a fighter, but he's very durable as he showed against Junior Dos Santos. But I'm going to pick Mir in this one. He's looking good in this fight. I think his size could be a factor in it, but I think that it's going to go to a decision with Mir.
I like Roy in this fight. I think a lot of people are underrating him in this one. Frank has been there and he's done that. He's got the belts, and Roy kind of plays everybody off with the comedy and the hair and the belly, but underneath all of that is a very dangerous fighter, and I think he proves that this weekend.
Tough one. I thought about it a lot. I can't make a decision. No, I'm going to say Mir's going to win by submission.
Believe it.